Rockstar retweeted this interview they did with Game Informer last week, and I always meant to get around to making this video over the past few days. It just didn't happen till today. So let's go over it. Game Informer, by the way, interview, article, link below in the description section. Feel free to check it out yourself. We're not going to go over the entire article because the first part's a lot to do about the backstory of Grand Theft Auto Online, as well as the past few months of Red Dead Online beta, and the fact that there was obviously some issues in Rockstar wanting back and forth information with the community in order to hopefully get issues fixed. Some of those issues remain, like disconnects, server problems, and some other things. But at the same time, we officially have Red Dead Online. The beta has been dropped. So this is all about moving forward from the foundation of Red Dead Online to what is coming down the road. The Western Way. Red Dead Online's direct predecessor, Grand Theft Auto Online, inhabits a unique place in the gaming landscape after a rocky debut that turned off many thanks to its unstable servers. Yeah, it's not as bad in Grand Theft Auto Online as it used to be. Still some issues. There's obviously that work needs to be done on Red Dead Online. Rockstar developers put to their collective heads down and worked steadily improving the mode's infrastructure, expanding the play experience of New Criminal Empire. So yes, a lot of that has to do with Grand Theft Auto Online. So if you want to read over that, feel free and do so yourself. Obviously, Take-Two shareholders want Rockstar to do everything it can to emulate Grand Theft Auto Online and slap the Western shine on the criminal fantasy and reap the rewards. Money, 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 right? But Rockstar has more ambitious plans to take the game in a new direction and make it distinct from Grand Theft Auto Online's crime-driven focus. Red Dead Online will always offer an outlaw fantasy for those who choose it, but Rockstar also has grand visions for growing the mode beyond combat encounters. Quote, "We want to build something with Red Dead Online that feels authentic and right in the world of Red Dead," says Rockstar North co-head Rob Nelson. You know, do things that maybe wouldn't make much sense or wouldn't be available in the GTA world. Choose your role. The westward expansion was a historical period fueled by punch-drunk dreams of those who saw unlimited opportunity in the untamed American wilderness. Emboldened by the concept of manifest destiny, pioneers set across the United States to realize their destinies, whether it be through honest or nefarious means. Red Dead Online hopes to enable these fantasies as well, whether you want to roleplay as honest woman harvesting your bounty from an untamed world, or a black hat villain terrorizing towns across the land. To achieve this goal, Rockstar is thinking beyond the robust adversarial suite the game already has, and investing more time and energy into the free roam activities. With Red Dead Online, we want to look at what we enjoyed about the open world experience, the ability to feel like you're really existing in this world and that you could roleplay in it. And then out of that world, what you would mean and have your character that's truly your own. So the ability to shape your character in whatever direction you want to go. Nelson says, "We don't want to just pigeonhole you into being a criminal, but allow you a number of roles that you can take forward from the ground up." And something they did mention in the article as well is some of the PC mod servers like Grand Theft Auto role-playing, and it could have been something that has inspired Rockstar when it comes to Red Dead Online. Players will get their first taste of this new direction when Rockstar debuts 3 new roles this summer. By the way, I want to know below in the comments section, are you excited about these 3 new roles? Which of these 3 do you plan on being your main, your focus? And is there a future role that you would like to see added in Red Dead Online? Continuing, enjoy the challenge of wrestling outlaws. Become a bounty hunter. Prefer the more primal trail of tracking animals. Turn those valuable pelts into a trading business. Do you tend to lose yourself while exploring the world? Perhaps you can pursue a career as a collector. Players can invest time in multiple roles, either playing solo or cooperative, and each offers opportunities for honorable and dishonorable actions. The more you invest in a role, the more unique rewards like weapons, outfits, and gadgets you can earn. Quote, "We are trying to take what we think is special about the world and expand it to the level at which you can interact with it," Nelson says. The goal is to be able to take hunting, collecting, bounty hunting, or whatever, much further than we were able to in the single player. In some ways, we have to get Red Dead Online back to the level of the immersion that we were able to achieve in single player. The scope for us to take it far beyond what we were able to do there is limitless, and it's really exciting. The further players delve into these roles, the more recognizable and defined they should become to other players. At first glance, you should have a better idea of who you're dealing with. Say you're fishing along the bank of the river, a man wearing a black hat approaches. You know that the only dishonorable bounty hunters can earn that specific hat style, so keep an eye on him, as it's probably a smart idea. Griefing is an unavoidable element of Red Dead Online right now, but Rockstar also hopes these defined roles encourage players to interact with other ways as well. A bounty hunter may have more pressing matters to deal with than harassing an innocent fisherman. Perhaps he just tips his hat in your direction, rides past to tackle more immediate task at hand. These roles aren't meant to be temporary progression path. Rockstar built each of these roles with expansion in mind. Whereas you started immediately as a CEO of your illegal businesses in Grand Theft Auto Online, the road to potential riches is a much longer journey in Red Dead Online. What we're doing with this game is asking, are the steps involved if it took you months, years, or whatever to get to that, Nelson says. What if it would be like if you started your business in your camp and eventually become Cornwall and owning a railway or a mine? So they have really broad dreams and ambitions regarding the direction our Red Dead Online characters could go. Eventually, we could have mines that we could own and operate in Red Dead Online, or perhaps even rail companies, or at least a share in rail companies. So it's some interesting ideas that they're throwing out there that may or may not pan out. This approach gives Rockstar the freedom to tap into a lot of different Western fantasies. Perhaps the honorable bounty hunter eventually becomes a lawman. So for a lot of people that would like to eventually wear a badge, whether as a deputy or a marshal, maybe that's something down the road that you'll be able to do in a future update. Not in the summer, but maybe there'll be future roles added that you could branch towards. Maybe the successful trader will eventually expand their business into a San Denis storefront. The door is open to expand and involve these roles continually. Nelson says that the world technology is malleable enough to allow developers to add new elements as needed to serve these roles well. It's pretty exciting to be able to change the world for people so that it's not a static thing. It's evolving, and players will have to evolve and adapt to it. Enlisting the Wild Bunch. Examining the activities available in Red Dead Redemption 2 offers insight into the directions Rockstar could potentially take the online experience. The ranching and farming mechanics from the epilogue are ripe for conversion, as building a homestead, running a riverboat gambling enterprise, are leading some archaeological digs. The careers could be diverse enough to draw in fans from the single-player mode who are turned off by the current focus of competitive multiplayer online, and even attract audience currently obsessed with Grand Theft Auto roleplayer, so GTA RP over on PC. Of course, that would entail first and foremost getting Red Dead Redemption 2 over on PC, which I'm sure is part of the plan. I think that we will eventually see Red Dead Redemption 2 and Red Dead Online on PC. That's just my theory. I think it will pan out. The hope is that these unique roles encourage players to intermingle in interesting ways, even those normally more inclined to keep to themselves. This overarching philosophy is why Rockstar is so apprehensive to introduce elements like a passive mode that walls off players from each other, or free aim servers that split the player base. Now, before I read this quote, a couple of thoughts. I disagree with this because I have been approached by several of you that play the game that would prefer multiple lobby types. And some of you would actually like to have a free aim style lobby, similar to what we have in Grand Theft Auto Online, the ability to either be auto aim or free aim. It's unfortunate that we appear to not be getting different lobby types. So unfortunately, that's just a reality that we're having to accept. Quote, it would be easier for us to do that than we're trying to do here, which is allow people to still feel like they're existing in the world that has an element of Wild Westiness to it and not completely make it to experiences, Nelson says. If we can't get the balance right, we can always do that. Well, I still think you should do that anyways, Nelson. That's just how I feel about it, because a lot of people would prefer free aim or just the ability to have a friend lobby, invite-only lobby, posse lobby, whatever you want to call it. But at the very least, there should be auto-aim and free-aim lobbies for players that would prefer free-aiming it. Continuing, but what we're trying to do is allow people to, however they want to play the game, interact with the world, and still feel like they're all part of the same world together. Where we think the world works best and when it's the most fun is if you are actually able to roleplay in this world to a certain degree. Achieving this goal won't be easy, which is why Rockstar turns out to the community to help determine the ways the system should evolve over time. With single player, you can develop over a fairly lengthy period of time, largely in isolation with your team, and then it comes out and hopefully people like it and it resonates. And I think for the most part, Red Dead Redemption 2 was a success. But with the online component, more or less, it's a back and forth, almost like a conversation with the people playing it. You get to keep working on it in an interactive way. The beta tag may be gone from Red Dead Online, but Rockstar still wants fans to offer their thoughts and opinions on this new direction as it experiments with ways to bring this vision to life. A lot of this stuff what we develop works for single player, but needs to be reimagined to work in online world where things are a little bit different, Nelson says. That's going to be the big focus for us moving forward with every update, putting in as much new content to interact with as you explore the world and try to get it feeling as rich and deep as the single-player world, and eventually, hopefully, getting richer and deeper. So once again, if you want to check out this article, it's linked below in the description section. And I will say this, despite the fact there's still obviously birthing pains when it comes to Red Dead Online, and I'm sure Rockstar is aware of it, like the server issues that people still have, unfortunately. Hopefully they're working on that. I do feel like we're starting to see the direction that Red Dead Online is going to go. And I've always had faith that this could be something amazing as an online experience. And it'll probably never be as big as Grand Theft Auto Online, but I still think in its own right it can be a success. And I applaud Rockstar for going this direction, this role-playing style that Red Dead Online could be, like with the bounty hunter, trader, collector, and they even teased future roles as well that maybe branch off, like from bounty hunter to lawman, from trader to store owner. And it could be interesting to see how this game progresses down the road from this point going forward. But at the same time, there's some things that I think that Rockstar should consider doing, like at the very least, as I mentioned a moment ago, when it comes to lobbies, at least give us the option to choose between a free aim and an auto aim lobby. Some of us are okay with auto aim, but other players would prefer free aim. Anyways, what do you think about the future of Red Dead Online that we know thus far? Are you excited about these new roles? If so, which one do you plan on maining at first? The bounty hunter, trader, collector, maybe 2 out of 3? Or do all 3 entice you? And if there's a future role you'd like to see eventually added to Red Dead Online, feel free and let us know below in the comments section.